Celtic are being credited with an interest in Rabbi Matondo, as Schalke look to offload the winger. Connor Barron must keep focus on gaining more experience with Aberdeen rather than move to Celtic FC, says ex-Aberdeen player Duncan Shearer. And Martin O'Neill reckons Ange Postecoglou will have to deal with the surging levels of expectation going into his second season in charge of Celtic. Good morning, Celtic fans. Yes, it's me again, Madison, bringing you the Celtic FC news. Celtic are being credited with an interest in Rabbi Matondo, as Schalke look to offload the winger. Dutch media are reporting that a number of teams are keen on the Wales internationalist, who notched an assist in Wales' 2-1 defeat to Poland last week. According to WOS, Celtic are cited as one of the clubs listed as being interested in the player that spent last term at Cercle Bruges. The 21-year-old is said to be available for €3.5 million, and Ange Postecoglou's team are noted as being interested. Rangers, Bournemouth and Fulham are among the teams that are also mentioned. Bruges and Anderlecht had been keen on the player, who will be aiming for a place in Rob Page's squad for the World Cup this winter in Qatar. Celtic are keen on sealing a deal for Jota, and you would imagine that if he does, Matondo might not be required when you consider James Forrest was rewarded with a new deal at the tail end of last season. With Daizen Maeda arriving after his purchase obligation went through from Yokohama F. Marinos, Liel Abada, and Mikey Johnston in reserve, Celtic have enough wide options. Duncan Shearer says, Connor Barron must keep focus on gaining more experience with Aberdeen. The Aberdeen midfielder has put in some very good performances whenever I've watched him, and he showed on Sunday with the Scotland under-21s in their goalless draw with Belgium how good a prospect he is. He should be flattered with the link to Celtic FC. They are the Scottish champions after all. But my advice is to try to ignore if he can. He cannot influence what happens here, but he should listen to his agent, his manager and his teammates around him at Pittodrie. It is very easy, especially for a teenager, to have their head turned when they are linked with a big move, but Barron has only been in the Dons' first team for a matter of months. He is clearly a part of Jim Goodwin's plans at the club, and my advice, for what it is worth, would be to stay focused on trying to gain as much experience as possible. If he continues to impress and realizes the potential his manager sees in him, then he has a bright future ahead of him. Martin O'Neill reckons Ange Postecoglou will have to deal with the surging levels of expectation going into his second season in charge of Celtic. But the heightened demands are still a lot more appealing than having to deal with Champions League qualifiers. The Parkhead legend believes direct entry into the group stages of European football's top competition is a game-changer for his old club in a number of ways. O'Neill admitted he used to despise going into the brutal qualifying stages with one hand tied behind his back. It's 20 years since he started Celtic on their way on the memorable run to the UEFA Cup final in Seville. But it's also 2 decades on since he had to suffer the Champions League exit at the first hurdle. The charge across the continent helped Celtic fans forget about the defeat to Basel in the playoff, but the pain lingered for the manager, who was determined to get back to the top table, having dealt with Ajax at the same stage 12 months earlier. It's all a hassle any Celtic manager can do without, and leapfrogging the lottery of qualifications will be a weight off for Ange. And it will also help with his summer recruitment drive. Let's all see what happens this Friday. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to